Hi Torah sisters, it's Amy. Someone in the comments on another video asked a really good question. How do I handle being at a hotel on the Sabbath? So in this video, I will tell you how Amy does it. But I am not the boss of you. You are responsible for walking rightly before your God. So you study for yourself. Leave comments for me if you have ideas for me. I reserve the right to change my mind because the longer I do Torah, because it hasn't been very long, the more I learn and figure things out and realize sometimes I'm wrong. So here we go. Sometimes I will say you should and you this and you that, but really what I mean is this is how I do it. So don't mistake me. So when I go to a hotel, which is not very often, but I do plan ahead. If I know I'm going to be at a hotel on the Sabbath, I plan ahead, just like I do for every Sabbath. Here's some of the things you need to consider. I have notes. When you're at the hotel, so the scripture says to not make anyone work for you and to not pay for stuff on the Shabbat. Now, I know, first of all, some of you out there will not go to a hotel on the Sabbath. I very much respect that. I do. I don't think it's necessary, but I respect your position. So I guess I'm talking to those of you who think it's permissible to go to a hotel on the Sabbath. So then when I'm at the hotel, the two commands I need to keep are I'm not going to pay for things and I'm not going to make anyone work for me. And I have done this at hotels and I think it can be done if you plan ahead. So obviously, first of all, the whole check-in process. Now, I'm 46 years old and I'm accustomed to getting to the hotel, and you make your reservation, you get to the hotel, you go to the front desk and you check in and you get your room key. It's not always like that anymore nowadays. So if you need to do it like that, first of all, you have to plan ahead and get to your hotel well before sundown. If you need to go through, well, what if there's a line? Places are short-staffed. Your room might not be clean at the normal time anymore because they might be short on housekeeping staff. Plan ahead, get there early if you are going to stand in line at the desk and check in, because that person behind the desk is working for you. Okay. If that somehow is not possible, you have a flat tire on the way to your hotel, your flight got delayed, something like that, call your hotel as soon as your flight lands or something before sundown and just say, look, I want to check in right now over the phone because I keep Sabbath and I can't make you work for me after I arrive. So how can I check in right now over the phone? I have said that little line so many times, and the people are always as accommodating as they possibly can be. That little line, because I keep the Sabbath, I don't want to make you work for me. So how can I da 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 da? And then they understand this is not a lady being difficult. This is not a lady who just is very needy. This is not a Karen. This is just a lady with a religious conviction trying to work it out. And it usually gets me a long ways with getting them on my side to help me figure this out. And the older I get, the more I realize they've heard it all. These people who work at restaurants, hotels, places, they have heard it all and then some. Our weird request to check in over the phone is probably not as weird as we think it is. They have had way stranger requests. So ask. Don't worry about making them mad or being difficult, because your job here is to please and obey your Father in heaven and to love them by not making them work on the Sabbath. So ask them to do something unusual before sundown so that then after sundown, they're not serving you. That's how I look at this, okay? So if you find yourself running late and you're not going to make it to your hotel until after sundown, check in either over the phone or on the internet. A lot of times you can check in on the internet. And the lady or the person checking you in over the phone will tell you, some places now you don't even get a room key. You just use an app to open your door. So if you know you're going to arrive after sundown, choose a hotel where you can check in online and use an app to open your door. So you don't need a room key. You have choices on hotels. Plan ahead. So there's some very slick technology out there that can help us to never have to bother that front desk person at all. So consider how and when you're going to even check into the hotel. And also, when you make that phone call, do the payment right then. If you're checking out on Shabbat on Saturday, make sure that so much as you are able that they're not running your credit card then. I know I've done this before where I think I checked out on the Saturday before sundown, and so I asked them to bill and charge my card when I checked in. And I asked for a receipt. Like, it wasn't a hold. They didn't put a hold on my card. They actually billed my card before I checked in. And then they just said, well, if you have any extra charges, I'm like, I understand if there's extra charges, but I know I'm not buying any movies and I'm not buying any drinks on Shabbat anyway. So that had worked out fine. So check in online, check in on the phone, make sure that you pay. Now, if you're staying till Sunday, then, the payment isn't such a big deal, unless a lot of places now do bill you daily. So ask questions and tell them why you're asking. So that's a biggie, is how to even get there. Now, the next thing is you think of housekeeping. All you do is put a do not disturb, the little do not disturb sign on your door. So the housekeeping skips you on Saturday morning. Now, if you're staying longer, I have in the past, because I kept on Shabbat, that housekeeper didn't have an opportunity to earn a tip. So then on Sunday, if I'm staying through Sunday, I will leave a double tip on Sunday. Or if I was there on Friday morning, I will leave a double tip and even a note that says, I don't want you to work for me on the Sabbath tomorrow, Saturday, so I'm leaving you a double portion today. Thank you for everything. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Just be honest. You're doing these good things in the name of Yeshua. So what good is it, in a sense, if they don't know whose name you're doing it in? Like, you're not just being difficult, you're trying to bless them. So don't forget to leave, in my opinion, this is what we should do. Leave a double portion on a different day for the housekeeping staff who didn't get a portion on Shabbat. Okay? And you just put that do not disturb sign up. And this is where it starts to get into, are we willing to be uncomfortable for the sake of obedience? And because you're all here doing Torah, I know you are. And I'm not saying that Torah makes us uncomfortable or it's a difficult lifestyle, but we're kind of used to, when we're at a hotel, having the housekeeping staff come in and fluff our beds and replace the towels every day. Well, on Saturday, you're not going to get that. So you're going to have to make your own bed and fluff your own towels. No big deal. You just have to realize that on Shabbat, your hotel experience might look a little bit different than it did other times. So along those lines, here's my next thing to tell you. When you check in, however you do that, have a list already of the things that you're going to need. So normally when housekeeping comes in, they might take the old washcloths and leave new washcloths. So if you know you're going to shower Friday night after you swim or whatever, and then you're going to need more washcloths or whatever, you have to ask for those things upon check-in. Because on Shabbat, I don't want to call the front desk from my room Saturday morning saying, can you send someone up with some more towels? I don't want to do that. I don't want to make them work for me. So when I check in, I will say, can you right now please give me 2 extra towels and 2 extra washcloths or whatever it is. Know ahead of time what you're going to need. And if you forget something, oh well, you will not die if you use a washcloth twice. It's a little gross. Figure something out. Or if you see a housekeeper in the hallway, just take it off their cart yourself. Something. Don't have a servant bringing something up to your room. That's how I do it. Okay, that's how I do it. I will be uncomfortable rather than make someone work at a hotel on Shabbat. Other things, the only other thing I think you might want to that I ask for ahead of time. So when I check into a hotel on a Friday afternoon, I ask for extra towels and extra coffee and, coffee supplies because I just know I'm going to want those. And I know housekeeping's not going to swap them out on Saturday. So I ask for extra coffee supplies, the little stir stick, the coffee, the little cups, and towels. And I think that's it. I haven't been in a hotel in a long time, but I think those are the only things. I am okay with going down to the pool because there's never lifeguards anymore. So I'm okay with going to the pool, and there's just towels at the pool. So that's easy. And again, if you do it different, I totally respect that. Things to consider again, remember obedience before comfort. So how many times have we gone to a hotel and we get to our room and it's not right? Like we asked for a queen bed and it's 2 doubles, or it's not right, or something's wrong with it, or the drain is plugged. Happens all the time. And if it is now at this point sundown, I think you just have to put up with it. Because if it's after sundown, again, for whatever reason, you didn't get there before sundown to make sure it's to your satisfaction, and now you find it's not to your satisfaction, I don't think we're permitted to go make people work, to have a maintenance man come up and unclog the drain. A clogged drain is not an ox in the ditch. It just isn't. So, nor is having the wrong room with the wrong view or the wrong beds. Can my kids sleep on the floor? Yes. Can I sleep on the floor for one night in a cozy hotel? Yes, of course I can. And sometimes you can even figure out where the linen closet is and just go help yourself to extra blankets and pillows if you need them. So that's how I would handle it. I mean, that's kind of drastic, and yet it's not. I mean, we're just very spoiled Americans. And we can be uncomfortable. If you don't get a shower, because the shower is that bad, for 24 hours, the world will not end. It's better to call, if you're at a conference or something and you have friends staying in the same hotel, go use one of their showers rather than making the staff serve you. Okay, something else to consider is the Continental Breakfast. I myself have been at conferences where there is a Saturday morning, and I think the Torah keepers are split. I saw a bunch of Torah keepers eating the Continental Breakfast, but me and my kids, as for me and my house, we do not. So again, if this is controversial, you do you, but I do me, and my opinion is that I'm not going to partake of the Continental Breakfast. The only thing, I think one time I did go down and I got for my kids the stuff that's like prepackaged, like, I know it's gross, but they have muffins in a little plastic baggie, or boxes of cereal, stuff that's prepackaged and requires no preparation. And I guess that's it, no preparation. Because those Continental Breakfast, the hotel always has one staff person in charge of that, putting the food out, putting the pancake batter into the pancake machine. The pancake machine is the best, by the way. My kids still talk about the pancake machines at the hotels. But she has to do all that, and she has to go around to the tables and wipe the tables. She makes the coffee. She keeps the orange juice machine full. She is working hard. Whatever. She's working. So I don't feel okay using any of those things. So I don't even want to sit at the tables knowing that she's going to go around and wipe up the tables after me. Even if I leave it clean, or because my kids, they might spill. I don't want to eat the pancakes that day because I know she prepared something. She was in the kitchen opening, they don't really make it from scratch. I know that, but still. So I think one time I did go down on a Saturday morning and I grabbed oranges, bananas, cereal, muffins. Maybe I grabbed a couple bagels and some cream cheese packets, but again, it's not like I toasted the bagels. So I did that one time. And most other times, here's what I think I did with the Continental Breakfast and what I would do if I were doing it this weekend. I would, the day before, and I know I have done this before, the day before, me and my kids at the Continental Breakfast, we eat our stuff. And then before we leave and go back to our room, I tell the staff worker there, I said, tomorrow is the Sabbath and we're not allowed to eat here because you'll be working. So can we take some stuff back to our room for tomorrow morning? And they've always said, sure, no problem. So again, that little line of, because I keep the Sabbath, may I please do this? And like, really, I'm telling you, they have heard weirder, way more obnoxious things than that. And so I said, may I take a tray? So I took a tray and I loaded it again with the to-go food, bananas, oranges. Even I think I took yogurts that time because we have a little fridge in our room. And so, but then I took the plasticware, the spoons and stuff. I took breakfast to my room to save for the next day. No problem. Easy peasy. And they do not care at all. It's one less person for them to serve the next day. So maybe they appreciate it, which is the whole point, to give her a lighter day on Sabbath, so much as I am able. And I had the coffee in my room. You could possibly put glasses of orange juice in a little hotel fridge for the next day too. And if you arrive after the Continental Breakfast on Friday is already done, you can ask the front desk staff the same thing when you check in. Say, we can't come down to the Continental Breakfast, so do you mind opening that little kitchen, or can I go into the fridge and just grab some things for my kiddos? Because you know that Continental Breakfast stuff is just right there. And that front desk person will probably not at all mind going over there and unlocking a cupboard so you can take some muffins or whatever. But only if you ask and only if you plan ahead. And of course, be nice. Nice. Let me look at my notes. I think that's it. As far as all the other eating, that's just like going anywhere on Shabbat. You plan ahead so you don't have to go to the restaurants. Use the fridge in your room. Take a cooler, whatever you have to do. But I think that's the main hotel stuff. So what did I forget? What questions do you have? What tips do you have? A lot of you stay in hotels much more frequently than me. My kids love hotels, but it's just not in our budget to go very far very often. So tell me, what do you do? How do you handle it? Any other technology tricks? The first time I stayed in a hotel where I had an app that opened the door, I was like, oh, that's the coolest thing ever. So anyway, have a great Tuesday night, sisters. Bye.